What's going on, everybody? Bringing you a 6-year update on the Weber swap of the Nissan Hardbody. This is a 1986 and a half Nissan Hardbody that came with the Z24i. Now it is just a carb Z24 technically with the Weber on it. I've done a kind of a really half-assed how-to video 6 years ago. A year after that, I kind of went through some of the updates I did with the Weber and how it's been running, and now we're on to 6 years and it's still going, same carb. So I'm going to cover everything I've done with the Weber setup and accessories to the Weber. I'm also going to show you what it looks like back at the fuel tank, because I did swap out fuel pumps and a lot of people asked about that, so you'll get to see that in this video. Lastly, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know engine things, so a lot of people ask me, oh, what do I do when this is that and this? I don't know. I'm a fab guy. I just build shit, get it low, and that's about it. So the engine stuff, I'm learning with y'all. So I'm just showing you my trials and tribulations that may work on your truck. It may not. If not, sit back and enjoy. Fresh look at the engine bay. I did just re-tub the truck, route some things some different ways. Still some tidying up to do, but it definitely looks way better than before. We're going to start off with the carburetor. This is the Weber 3838, not the 3632, 3838. This was a kit I got from Carburetors Unlimited up in northern Washington. So it came with the adapter plate, came with a throttle bracket, fuel regulator, and probably a couple other odds and ends that I can't recall at this time. Let's go over all the changes I've done since installing this Weber. First one being, there used to be a line that ran to the valve cover as a breather. Capped it off on the bottom, and now I'm running a little K&N filter. I'll leave a part number up in the top right. The kit came with a redline fuel regulator. For some reason, I kept having issues with fuel leaking out of it. Never could figure it out. I would tighten it, reseal it, clean it. Was always leaking. I thought it was the reason of having a pretty high pressure system being regulated down to, you know, what is it, whatever, like 3 psi. So I battled that for a while and decided, you know what, let's ditch the red line. And now we got a Holley fuel regulator in here. I'll leave a part number in the top right. I got a gauge off of it. It runs right around 3 psi, maybe slightly under 3 psi. It's been working really good. So with that said, as you can see, there is no return on this particular regulator. We blocked it off down at the frame where the metal line comes up. We capped it, hose clamped it, so now there's no return being ran on this truck. Honestly, I haven't really had any issues. I do get a little bit of a smell of a gas, you know, after the truck's parked. Is that just residual gas smell from inside the carb? Possibly. I don't know. Let's talk about the throttle bracket setup we got going here. This is not the factory bracket that came with the kit. I ended up making my own with an aftermarket spring. The one that came with the kit was, I think it was just something universal, meant for mostly anything that you can kind of get it to work. I really didn't care for it, so I made my own that specifically fit this throttle cable. The spring return, you know, after you whack the throttle, wasn't quite strong enough, and I was getting a little bit of a stuck high idle, wasn't coming all the way back down, so we ended up throwing a spring on with this little bracket that just bolts to the 2 studs right here. This has been working pretty flawlessly for the last 5 years I've had it, so probably won't change much. I might revise the spring setup a little bit, make it a little cleaner looking, but for now, it's been working. Let me rewind a bit, because I totally skipped a step. The fact that I switched to this Holley regulator, this is not a high pressure regulator. Well, we no longer have that factory fuel pump in the tank. I bypassed it with just a straight down pickup, and I am now running a Nissan 720 late model external fuel pump. I got mine at O'Reilly's. Bypassing the fuel pump was pretty easy. Took the factory fuel pump out. I made up a piece of copper tube to the length of the bottom of the screen, or as close as possible as I can get it, and then used just a couple hose clamps with some rubber ends. And it's been in the tank. As you can see here, I pulled it out. It's been in the tank for over 5 years and no issues. I just happen to have the copper laying around, so I thought, why not? I think it'll be fairly effective and not corrode, and sure enough, it's actually been holding up really well. Lastly, I had to add the Nissan 720 fuel pump, which pumps, I believe it's around 4 psi. The particular one I picked up, I got it tucked up on the frame right here, as you can see. Probably not the best way to loop the fuel line around, but like I said, 5 years, it's working for me, so it may work for you. I do wish that I put the fuel pump in a little bit better spot. With the current location, I'm gonna have to pull the bed if I need to replace that fuel pump. 5 years external fuel pump. It's not loud, works really great, haven't had any issues. I did want to make a note with this new engine bay setup I created. I didn't want to run such a large fuel filter. The OEM Nissan fuel filter is pretty massive if you've seen it. Now we got a new fuel filter setup. I will leave a part number up in the top right. The microguard filter, I've had it on the truck now for a month. Seems to be working, and I love the fact that we can actually see the gas in the fuel filter. So we know that it's pumping up and we can see if it's getting dirty. That pretty much sums up the Weber swap 6 years later. Like I said, I've honestly not had any issues. The cold start function, you know, giving the throttle a whack before you start it, seems to be working. This thing fires up on some pretty cold mornings. I've only had the case of, you know, a handful of times where, you know, you just had to pump the throttle a little bit more to get her going. But I daily drive this truck. About 20 minutes to work, 20 minutes home, 5 days a week. And typically drive it on a Saturday, and it's been doing really well. Gas mileage, I'm gonna say it's the same. I don't see any difference, maybe a little worse, since it's not, you know, the computer's not computing, telling how much fuel. If it's too much, you know, there could be too much fuel occasionally with the Weber, who knows. I'm pretty low to sea level. I think I'm around 150 feet, 300 max. This truck was dynoed 5.5 years ago, and out of the box, this Weber was dialed for the air-fuel ratio. And if anyone's wondering, to the wheels, this particular truck with an RV-style cam made a whopping 89 horsepower on one pole, 90 horsepower on the second pole. But that is the Weber swap on a Z24i Nissan Hardbody. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you want to see anything else on this truck, let me know. I guess I should mention, you know, there's no EGR on this truck. I deleted the EGR. There's no more emission stuff on the truck. Have fun with it. If your truck's having issues, maybe Weber's the solution. Maybe it's not. I took this truck to 2-3 different shops and gave up, and that's when I decided to do the Weber. And look it, we're 6 years later, still running strong, about to drive home, edit this video. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep on trucking. Peace.